Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Lions Den podcast. Here to talk about everything Club Leon in English. You guys are following us via Twitter or YouTube. Let us know what your thoughts and comments are throughout the show. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know. We'll keep the conversation going and post your comment on the screen. Today we're going to be talking about what happened last weekend in the jornada, along with Leon and Atlas's match, and then looking ahead of tomorrow night's matchup away at Necaxa and everything in between. So, yeah, guys, Louis, Carlos, gentlemen, how are we feeling this time around versus last week?
Much better, much needed respiro, much needed result, and a very very good way to get it in convincing fashion is taking care of business at home, desquitándonos with an Atlas team that we really hadn't had a chance to do that since facing them in that ill-fated final a year ago. So yeah, good vibes only, but also not going crazy with what it means for the team going forward, because there's still a lot of work left to be done.
Yeah, I think it feels good to win again. Obviously, we ended the 4-game losing streak, but I don't know if Atlas was the benchmark that we want to use for making the analysis and making the confirming the fact that we're back. Because I don't know, it's not. I mean, it's not to speak down on Atlas, but they haven't had a good season. And I don't think Necaxa is having a good season either, so I expect us to beat them. But it's not going to be up until maybe we face the Cruz Azules or Tigres, or actually Tigres.
First.
That's when we'll know. That's when we'll know if we're back or not. But yeah,
I don't know. I have some thoughts on all that, but we can get into it later.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I think obviously we wanted to get a good result at home, and I think we did. But there's just been so much of cards that have been getting in the way and getting players back and then out and then back in. So like tomorrow we'll definitely talk about our preview what we possibly might see, because obviously Belon is out with the 5 cards, and then Celestina's back. So we'll definitely talk about what that looks like ahead of Necaxa. So yeah. Do you guys want to go ahead and start with the pregame?
Cool, let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
First point, obviously Julian Celestina, as you just mentioned, Cuddy, out serving a 1-game suspension. It's weird that we didn't appeal that yellow. It looked very appealable, but whatever. It's done. He should be back next game against Necaxa tomorrow. And I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I don't think he's starting tomorrow. But we'll get into that. Second point that we should talk about is the Paul Velon. Obviously, he got his 5th yellow card. He's not going to be here tomorrow. And then Byron Castillo, who there's a lot of breaking news around him today, which we'll also get into. He also has 4 cards, so 1 more card for him, and he is also going to have to serve a 1-game suspension. And it might look like we might not have him for a couple of games. So I'm hoping that he doesn't get a yellow card, because then that'll just extend the number of games that we're not going to have him, and we don't have a replacement for him. So yeah, we're not looking good there. Who wants to jump in and talk about the breaking news?
So I glanced at it. Do you guys have the actual tweet? Like, he will be flying out the same day that we face Cruz Azul, correct? To meet with FIFA.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they'll work it out so that he'll miss as little time as humanly possible.
It's on the 15th of September.
Is his hearing? Yes.
Yeah.
In Zurich.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, my guess is he'll He'll fly directly from Mexico City. He'll probably travel with the team the day before, and then fly out directly from Mexico City to either Paris, London, Amsterdam, one of the places you can fly direct to in Europe, and make his way to Zurich for his hearing, and then come back as soon as it's over. I don't know, maybe they'll even charter a flight for him. Who knows? But
doubt it.
no, I doubt that. But they'll work it out. They'll work it out so he misses as little time as possible. I don't know. I don't have too much to say about this. I think the whole thing is absurd. FIFA already ruled in his favor, and Chile to still be grasping at straws and grasping whatever they could possibly do to get something that they absolutely did not earn in lo deportivo is just pathetic on their part. And it makes their selección, their federation, and their nation as a whole, because most people who don't know anything about geopolitics tend to judge nations at least partially on their national football team. I mean, it's just kind of the way it goes, and it makes them look bad on all fronts. They are looking silly. They are looking pathetic. They are looking desperate, and yeah, I just it's that this ruling is also going to go in Byron and Ecuador's favor. I know it will. Everyone is saying it will. There are very, very, very few possibilities that Chile has of this going their way at all. So all they're doing is making life difficult for Byron, and in turn for his club, and in turn for us. So Chile, with all due respect, get bent.
Yeah, I was like, I thought this was already settled, and I think it's a poor time knowing that the league is being squashed and compacted into months with so many games, and that they need him to report, to give his declaración. I mean, I think it's just absurd. I mean, can this not have waited? Yes, but like you have said, Louis, I don't know Chile's what their master plan is behind, but I mean, like you said, nos está manchando, and they're literally ruining it for us because, like Carl had mentioned, I mean, we can't afford to lose him, and we will lose him at least for that game. So,
they have to make some sort of adjustment so that this can't happen. Like, even if they win,
yeah,
then all that happens would be that Ecuador would be disqualified, and then CONMEBOL would just lose a spot, and then that spot would go to some other confederation. You cannot allow teams to squeeze into a World Cup they didn't earn a spot in this manner. You just cannot allow that. It would set a really, really. That's the thing. If they somehow rule in Chile's favor, it would set a really, really dangerous precedent, because then now in the future, the teams that just miss out are going to be looking for any dirt they can possibly find that will disqualify the teams ahead of them, and they just cannot allow that precedent to be set. So even if Chile wins, I mean, that would be the funniest thing in the world for me. If Chile wins their litigation, but they still don't get a spot in the World Cup, they just decide, no, we're gonna award that spot to, we're gonna give CONCACAF another spot or something. That would be this maybe perhaps the strangest poetic justice. But I mean, I don't think it's going to come to that. I think Byron's going to win his litigio, and they're going to rule in his favor again. And all it means is we won't have one of our most important players for a match that could possibly determine our fate in the season. So yeah, I'm not too happy about it, but I'm not going to say any more about it for right now.
Well, we hope everything goes well. And we'll definitely talk about what that looks like for that game whenever we do face Cruz Azul.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Carlos. Anything else?
No, I was just going to say it's a good opportunity for Paiva, who came in as a formador, to call up on one of the youngsters for that position, because it looks like Avion's going to be out for the season. Yeah. We haven't really heard much about his condition, but one of the options was that he was going to get season-ending surgery. Yeah. And if we haven't heard about it yet, that's probably going to be the option. So it'd be a nice opportunity for a youngster to get called up. It's another Mexican you can add to the lineup, and we had 7 this past.
I mean, we shouldn't have gotten rid of Hidburon, but that's just another story, right?
Where'd he go? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
I don't know where he went. I just saw he was leaving Leon, but I didn't really pay attention to where he was going. But
Google it. I mean, it
In the
says
mean,
it says he's still with Leon on his Wikipedia, so maybe he's just.
no, they did announce him that he was leaving.
No, it says I know, but his Wikipedia hasn't been updated.
Oh, okay.
So he probably hasn't signed with the new team. He's just unemployed.
See? Oh my god. You know what? Let's move on.
know.
Carlos, you want to give us a lineup?
Sure. Starting lineup, obviously, Rodolfo Cota on goal. Byron Castillo, Fidel Ambris, Paul Velon, and Osby Rodriguez, which there's something special about that defensive backline that I'm going to bring up in a couple minutes. Osby and not Osby, Jefecito and Montes in the middle. Fede Martinez, Elias Hernandez getting the start. Mena and Yorio. A lot of these guys had good games, but like I said before, there were 7 Mexicans in the lineup. Good to see. I think, in my opinion, it's good to see. But any surprises, guys? Maybe Elias, the biggest surprise?
Yeah, Elias was certainly a surprise. I mean, he wasn't even getting super sub minutes. He seemed like to not even be in the plans at all, really. So for him to get a start out of nowhere, I get it. I mean, you're looking for anything that might work, and I'm not going to say that they've necessarily found it with him, but he had an okay performance, like an unexpectedly solid performance, I would say. I don't know if they're going to continue with him going forward, but I mean, the guy's still crafty. I mean, the guy still knows what he's doing when he's cutting in, on his left from that right side. I love that move of his. I mean, that's his patented move, and he's still, he very nearly got a goal out of it a couple of times in this match. And I just love Elias in general as a person, as a player, as a human being. He's always been one of the ones who's been in tune with what I do personally, with what I try to contribute to the club. And and he always responds if you write to him on Instagram, which I did a couple of times looking for tickets for games that were going to be hard to get into. So I just love Elias, and I'm glad to see that he's getting that he got that opportunity. And I'm not going to say that I'm rooting for him to be the starter for the rest of the season. I just don't know if that's necessarily in the best interest of the club. But for this one time, it was nice to see, and it was nice to see that he had a decent game.
Yeah. Fede Martinez also getting a start and a goal, which
a really nice goal. A really nice goal too. Yeah.
I was kind of criticizing him up to just minutes before he scored that goal. I was like, I don't know if he's having the best game. And then he scores the goal, and I'm like,
It wasn't a cheap one either. It was a really, really nice one, and it was one that really put the game away, I would say.
So, Carlos, you were able to watch the game somehow.
I was, yeah. It was on ViX Plus. You gotta buy their dumb subscription.
I thought it was free.
No, they have two tiers. They have the free and then the paid.
Oh,
so
it
sometimes
was on ViX Plus.
Yeah, so like they have regular ViX, which is free, and then ViX Plus, which is paid, and then so to get you, they put something on free first, and then they go, oh, now it's on paid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be in attendance for the vast majority of these, because I don't want to pay for ViX Plus either.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that most of Leon's games are going to be on ViX Plus going forward. I don't know. I just get a feeling that that Leon's very rarely going to be on the free version.
They've been like alternating. I mean,
yeah, they alternate. Like right now, if you go, I have Fubo. If you go on Fubo, TUDN is airing Atlético San Luis contra, who are they playing?
Querétaro, no? Xolos.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're airing that one. That's not on ViX Plus. That's on regular. So
I think they just
go back and forth.
They had said 14 games or something like that. Was gonna be on ViX or ViX Plus.
I don't know what they're doing, but it's
something like that.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's a struggle, really. Like here, I can't really watch Tigres when they're at home. But then the other day, they put the Tigres game on TV Azteca, so I was able to watch. It's weird. I have to find games everywhere to watch, and because it's first tomorrow they announced that the Juarez Monterrey game is going to be on Fox Premium. I'm like, Okay, cool.
And that's
Let me
how-
just let me just as an aside here, Liga MX, look at what MLS is going to be doing next season. Signing an exclusive contract with Apple TV Plus. You only have to subscribe to one service, and you will be able to watch every single game, no blackouts, anywhere in the world. Do something similar, please. Do everybody a favor.
They're
Like that's
fighting
the
with each other with other
like
rights. That's the thing.
like that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and it's always been that way in Mexico, which is why for the longest time you could only ever watch four teams. I mean, the big four teams are the big four teams because they were the ones that were on TV, not because they did anything special on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially a couple of them who shall remain nameless. Yeah.
Shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
I will be able just to listen to the first half because at the same time Santos was playing, and obviously I went to the home game. So the second half I was not able to listen to it because the stadium got loud, and then the volume of the radio wasn't that loud. But I mean, struggles. But I'm glad Louis, you were in there in person. Was there a lot of Atlas fans?
There were. I was actually going to say something about that. I think it really hit me this time more than the last time that we played them after the final, which was match day 2, also at home last season. I realized just how much I dislike everything about Atlas, like way more than I thought I did. Like I never would have thought them to be one of the teams that I
Hated.
had a particular dislike for, a particular disdain for. But something about this time, seeing their fans, and there was one sitting right next to us who just really stuck in my grill. Like I just was looking at him and it was like, it just irritated me. And then he cheered their first goal, like that first PK that Cota gave up, and it was just like, dude, get out of my stadium. You know, I was really irritated by everything about Atlas this game, and it wasn't just because of that. Like Diego Coca's comments both before and after the game, like, well, so what do you want? What do you think your team needs to get a better result this time? He's like, for the VAR to go in our favor, and then afterward he's like, that lighting system in the stadium is not at a professional level, and that's why we lost. Like, bro, like, get a handle on yourself. Just everything that has happened with the Atlas institution since they won these 2 titles, like they were irrelevant for 70 years in Mexican soccer. Irrelevant. And now they think the sense of entitlement that they now have has just made them one of the most deplorable opponents that we can possibly face in the entire league. And it all came flushing down on me when I walked into the stadium. I saw their fans there and was thinking about Diego Coca and all that stuff. And so it was incredibly satisfying to defeat them in the way that we did.
You won with what, 2 penalties?
Yeah, the only goals they got were two penalties. Although I'm kind of grateful for that one at the end. I mean, we already had the game well in hand, and I'm kind of grateful we gave that one up at the end because it kind of put things in perspective. Okay, we beat this team handily, but there's still work to be done. You know,
Yeah.
Because the place was going nuts. We were ready to win 4-1, and then they called that unnecessary, that meaningless penalty, which I'm not even sure. Was it on Biden? Was it on Campbell? I'm not even sure who they called the handball on at the end. I'm really not even sure. Okay.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I was like, okay, let's use this as a lesson. Like, we're going to win this game handily, but the last action of the game is them scoring a PK on us. So there's still work to be done. We're not out of the woods yet. Yeah. That's kind of what I took from it.
Yeah, I think his comments are like, he's trying to really save face because basically his whole season is in the dumpster, and it's a dumpster fire right now. So, I mean, if I were trying to save my job, I'd be placing the blame on everything else except myself and my team. And that's exactly what he's doing. So we talked about, I think it was last podcast, we talked about who was next in the guillotine. I think me and Kari said Lilini, or me and Louis, I can't remember.
No,
I said Lilini for sure.
Yeah, you said Lilini.
But I think we can put Coca out there now too. I think he's probably.
I don't know how they could possibly. I don't know how they could possibly fire him in the first season after winning 2 straight titles after not winning one for 70 years. Yeah, I don't know how they could.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know how they could. Now, if he has another season next season like this one, then all bets are off. But I don't think they're going to fire him this season.
All right.
Just like they're not gonna fire Paiva in his first season, and hopefully Paiva will give them every reason to keep him and not even think about firing him with these next matches coming up. But Cuddy, I'm glad you asked that because I was waiting for my moment to chime in about how I felt about the whole Atlas thing. Like everything
curious.
about them, everything about that franchise now is just so irritating to me.
Well, I'm glad the results came in your favor that game. If I, you would have been really pissed off if the guy next to you would have, chanted at the very end of them winning. But I'm glad it didn't go like that. But I also thought Coca's comments were so stupid, especially the first one about we hope bars on ours. Like really, they already have the reputation as it is.
For him to talk about VAR with how much it has helped them win 2 titles, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's outright. Well, I mean, I kind of do want to say it's outright helped them. It has certainly made the path for their title runs as clear as it could possibly be. Yeah. I don't care what our friend Carlos Eustace says. Carlos, my apologies if you're listening to us, but I know you were adamant that the refereeing was not helping them at all at any point, but I'm sorry, it was. And so for him to be commenting about it now, for Diego Coca to be commenting about that now is it's in very poor taste.
Yeah, isn't it weird how last offseason La Comisión de Arbitraje shuffled things up, I think they cleaned out some I don't know, something about La Comisión de Arbitrajes. Mm-hmm. And now and that comisión was tied directly with Atlas. There was some
yes, the is it the owner?
The owner
or the chairman? Was it the chairman of Grupo Orlegui? Maybe, I don't know. Somebody
there was
somebody's brother was a high-ranking official in the referees commission. Yeah, and that person is not there anymore, and so
major conflict of interest. Yeah. And that person's not there anymore, and now suddenly Atlas doesn't get these calls that they used to get.
They did get 2 PKs, and they did get 1 red card rescinded. So I'm not going to say they didn't have their officiating in their favor. They did. I'm not going to say the officiating was against them. Rather, they still got some. They still got some the benefit of some calls. Can you imagine a red card being rescinded in Leon's favor? I can't.
No.
Never.
Very rare. Very rare.
Or the fact that who was it? Anderson Santa Maria got his red card rescinded prior to this game, and that's why he was able to play for Atlas. Can you imagine that happening for Leon? I can't.
No.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna say? Diorio.
I mean, I feel like there were a couple of sitters that he could have put away, made the lead even bigger. But I mean, to his credit, he got what was probably my favorite goal of the 4. Not the best goal, but my favorite of the 4. Just catching that defense napping and completely making them look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hugo Nervo, and then Hugo Nervo has the nervo to fall over and grab his foot like he gotten kicked or stepped on or something. Give me a break.
Not you saying the nervo. I'm done with you.
That's not even the right word, but but I couldn't miss the opportunity to make that pun. Yeah, for him to fall down just because he got completely, what's the word? He got he got completely fooled. He got completely taken on that play, and he was trying to save face even more than Diego Coca was by falling over and acting hurt, like he'd gotten touched at all on the play, which replay clearly showed he had not.
Yeah. Yeah, he just fell asleep. He fell asleep, and Di Giodio took advantage of that. Yeah, very, very good goal. But I'm gonna have to go. My favorite goal was Jairo's goal.
Well, that was by far the best one. But my favorite was the audio also because that was the goal that gave us the lead back right out of halftime, practically.
Right.
And Jairo's was basically the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
In terms of the run of play.
On the cake. Yeah. That was I would have loved to see that goal live, and I'm glad you did.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
on my side. On my side as well.
kind of reminded me of that goal he came in during the final and he scored.
Yeah.
It had
He's
glimpses
had
of that.
he's had a few of those. He's good for one of those every couple seasons. You know, just one of the he had a really good one like that against Chivas a few years ago too. I remember.
Yeah, Jaido's he's just an animal. He's built different. I don't know why he's not. I don't know why he's not the best player in the league. Really, like I don't. He should be. I mean, a couple seasons ago when we had Tom Marshall on here, Tom Marshall said Jaido could easily be the best player in the team. I mean, in the league. And I don't know what it is. Attitude, heart, will. I don't know what it is. It's just he's lacking something, but he obviously has the capabilities to become a legend in this league and move on to Europe, which he hasn't done yet.
Yeah, clock's kind of ticking for him on that front, I think.
I wanted to say, so I did end up rewatching most of the game after. And on the Yorio's goal, literally as starting with Kota, it was 6 total touches until the Yorio made the goal. And it was just like amazing. And I was like, okay, hold up, rewind. And I was like, 1, 2, 3. After Kota let the ball go, it was 6 touches. The Yorio's was the last touch to get in goal. Like you said, Louis, La Defensa se quedó dormida. It was a great goal to get early on in that half. But yeah, and then Byron Castillo for Federico's goal just came in clutch. I mean, I think we saw good performances.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Carlos had mentioned at the beginning, Atlas as along the lines of Pumas and Cruz Azul have not had the great season, which is, this win definitely helped us a lot. We're now sitting in 13th place. Underneath us is Mazatlan, just a point behind. Cruz Azul, a point behind as well. Atlas with 9 points. Penultimo, Pumas with 9 goals. And then at the very end, Querétaro. I think it's from here on down. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting what happens the next.
Well, how many of those teams below us do we still have to play? I mean, I think that
Cruz Azul.
No,
and Querétaro.
Cruz Azul, no, Cruz Azul, Querétaro, and Xolos, and Juárez.
Yeah, we still have to play a lot of these.
Well, Xolos is in 9th, yeah. But I'm talking about from where we are at below, 13th and below.
Okay,
well, Juárez has the same number of points as us, but obviously for goal differentiation, they are ahead. And Necaxa has 14, so that'll be interesting tomorrow then.
No, Xolos is in 11th. So we still have to play the 2 teams directly in front of us, the 3 teams directly in front of us, and 2 of the teams directly. Yeah, they are. No, Xolos is in 11th. I don't know. I don't know what standings you're looking at.
Google standings. Carlos, what are you looking at then? They can confirm who was right.
Let me check.
Because they're playing right now, and Google has the live standings. If we're talking live standings, then yes, Tijuana is in 9th.
Yeah, they give you a live standing. So if it's tied right now, they add a point, and so they move up.
Right. I don't consider the live standings because I mean, they'll have played in one more game and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, but so we still have Xolos, Necaxa, Cruz Azul, and Querétaro to play.
And Juárez. And Juárez, who's on the same number of points.
Tigres?
People forget about that Juárez game, but we play Juárez on Tuesday. Like, we play on Friday tomorrow, and then we play Juárez on Tuesday.
Oh, is that going to be home? The Juárez game?
Yep.
Yeah.
All these games, man. Okay, anything else to sum up our victory over Atlas? We ended up winning 4-2. Anything else to say about that game before moving on?
Last thing, defensive line. When's the last time we had this young of a defense? The average age of our defenders, our 4 defenders, Byron Castillo, Paul Velon, Fidel Ambris, and Oswi, The average age is 23.
It's crazy.
23.
Because how old is
I'm just
Byron?
gonna say
24?
Bayonne is 24 or 23.
23. Ambris is 19. Melon and
Melon.
Osby are 25. That's a
It's been
I'm
a
gonna
while.
say
really young defense.
I like Ambris as a center back. I'm just gonna go out and say that. I don't think it's that
Yeah.
much of a I don't think it's that much of a hot take even. I think I like him as a center back who can, he's got some possessing abilities, some recuperador abilities. Like not enough to be a true number 6, to be like your true defensive midfielder or deep line playmaker, but I mean, if he can incorporate some of those qualities into his center back play, I think that could be a really, really good player for us going forward.
Yeah.
I do like him in that position as well, which we'll talk about just in a bit about tomorrow night's match. Carl, we can say something else?
No, that was it. They asked Baiba, like, are you going to use him there
What do you
for the
say?
rest of the season? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, do you see him as a center back? And he said, no, I see him as a better player. And I was like, whoa, that's one of those Baiba quotes where he just kind of like illuminates you.
I did not expect that response. Also, I was listening to see what the response
see him as
was.
a better player.
It's
overall,
a good
a better
response.
player.
I just think, like you said, it's a classic. Okay, so quickly, rundown of the games that Jornada, Puebla, and Juarez drawing 2-2. What's up with Puebla? I mean, I think they've just had what is it, like 8 draws or something like that? Crazy. Like they haven't. I think the last time they won was like in Jornada 2 or something like that.
I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of Puebla games this season.
I think they've had like 9 draws or something like that.
Yeah, the last time, let's see. Oh my God, you're serious? Yeah, you're not lying. Watch, Puebla Juarez 2-2, Atlas Puebla 1-1, Puebla Necaxa 2-2, Puebla Tijuana 3-3, Toluca Puebla 1-1, Puebla San Luis 0-0, Cruz Azul Puebla 2-2, Puebla León 1-1. Oh,
yeah, I think last time they won is Jornada 2 or something.
Jornada
You're scrolling up?
2, yeah, Jornada 2 against Santos. Yeah.
I don't know what Puebla's plan is from here on out.
Yeah.
America beating Mazatlan 3-1. We're not surprised by that. Cruz Azul beating Querétaro 2-1. Also not surprised. I don't know. Querétaro is just, to me, they just don't exist anymore. But even we still have to face them. But they're just like so irrelevant at this point.
We still have to face them, and they can be pesky, especially when we play them at home for some reason. When we play them in León, I mean, they could be pesky. So yeah, I'm not taking anything for granted with them. But yes, they are by and large the Liga MX doormat, and they were even before that whole incident last season.
Yeah, definitely. I think their coach might be gone, but at this point, they might as well just write them out to the end of the season. Not that they're going to do anything anyways. Tigres and Necaxa drawing 0-0. Chivas beating Pumas 3-1. Shout out to all the Chiva hermanos. You guys are on a winning streak. I mean, I think they're even surprised, so that was interesting. Pumas still cannot win, and I don't think Lilly's still going anywhere, guys. I think they're going to write him out to the end of the season.
Probably maybe till the end of the season. But I mean, if he doesn't, well, I read something saying that they pretty much given him a vote of confidence from what he's already done. But if he has another bad season, I don't see how they can justify keeping him.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chivas on a winning streak, all that so they can get eliminated in repechaje by Puebla or some team like that. You know it's coming. You know it's coming.
Toluca de la Chambris lost to Pachuca.
I know Toluca's looked a little bit vulnerable as of late, especially on the back line.
Definitely, I didn't expect that. But if you
Me
guys did
neither.
not watch the celebration of Pachuca, go watch it. They do this like wrestling lucha libre celebration. You
Oh, I
didn't see
saw
it,
that.
Carlos? Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
fun to watch.
You know,
I missed it.
I just have something to say. The Pachuca form and the Santos form, considering how we played against them pretty evenly, narrow losses but playing them pretty evenly, and the form they've been on since then, well before and since, I think that speaks decently well of Leon. It's not a team that hasn't the results haven't gone our way, but we're not as much of a pushover as people have thought we were.
Definitely. Obviously, your win against Ratlas 4-2. I saw a video of someone. I guess they were driving by where it was this Atlas, and someone had put an R in front of it. I thought it was video on Twitter. Santos beating San Luis 4-1. I was at that game. I mean, San Luis was just non-responsive.
Nothing.
It could have been more goals. And then Xolos losing to Monterrey 3-0 for the first four positions. Right now, Monterrey, America, Santos, and Pachuca. So that is at the moment. Right now, San Luis. Oh, someone's got a red card. But they're 0-0, so maybe that'll still be a draw. So our game versus Necaxa tomorrow. I think away we're usually really pretty good, right?
Especially at the stadium.
We have not lost. We haven't dropped a single point in Aguascalientes since Necaxa returned to Primera División in 2016. So think about that. Think about that for a second. We have not only haven't we lost, we have not dropped a single point. 7 visits. That's 6 Liga MX visits and 1 Octavos de Final de Copa. I don't know if you remember that. Nacho Ambriz's very first game in command of Leon. They actually played Necaxa twice in Aguascalientes in 1 week. It just worked out that way. They played them midweek in the Copa Eliminatoria and then in League the following weekend. I went to both of those games. Yeah. So that's a long time without dropping a point in Aguascalientes. You pretty much go in there expecting to come out happy. You pretty much go in there expecting to get a win. I think the team has always been very comfortable playing there. They always get an enormous turnout of Leon fans, visiting fans. It's far and away the closest trip to Leon in Liga MX. It's only about an hour and a half, if that, from Leon. So it's always an invasion. I don't expect this time to be any different. This will be my first visit to Estadio Victoria in about 3 years.
A long time, Louis.
Yeah, well, I wasn't able to go last season. It was also on a Friday night, and I had a conflict. I couldn't go. Occasionally it happens. And before that, they hadn't played there since the championship season, the Apertura 2020, the Clausura 21 and the Apertura 21 were home games. Actually,
should be good back.
Yeah. Both of those seasons were home games. So the one was behind closed doors, obviously. They also actually, curiously, in the championship season, played against America in Estadio Victoria in Aguascalientes, and that was also behind closed doors. So, yeah, there were a few matches behind closed doors and one that I had a conflict and couldn't go to. So the last time I was there was almost exactly 3 years ago. One of my favorite regular season games of all time, a 4-2 win, Leon against Necaxa. I don't know if you guys remember that one. We took a 2-0 lead, goals by Macias and Ismael Sosa. And then Necaxa tied it up, and then we got 2 really, really late goals. Like, I'm talking like 89th minute and then 90 plus 3 or something like that. And it was just an MVP Chapo game. Like, he didn't score a goal, but he had, I don't remember how many of the assists he had. And that was one of my all-time favorite regular season games because Necaxa had been doing really well up to that point in the season, and Leon was I think Necaxa was super. It was like Jornada 10, and Necaxa was super leader, and we were in 4th, and we went in there and completely dethroned them, and it was that was one of my favorite regular season games of all time. I still remember that one. That was a good one.
One of my favorite goals ever at that stadium that I watched through TV, obviously. Mauro Oselli when he faked out Barovero.
Oh yeah. Oh
When he
yeah.
faked out
I remember that
Barovero.
game. I remember that game.
So that's one.
That was it. Yeah.
And then
3-0.
the second one is Gulitz.
Oh yeah.
El de
That
Gulitz.
was my first. That was my first visit to Estadio Victoria, the Culi goal, the like 85th minute or something. I don't know. To give us the 1-0 win. I was right on that. I was right on that side of the pitch too. I was right in front of it. Bounced off the post like twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Those
And
two
he had
favorite goals.
And he had just been punished. Like he didn't start the game because he had been caught for drunk driving like the previous week or something like that. So he didn't start the game, but he came in as a sub and gave us the win. I remember that.
Could that have been his last goal as a Leon player? I gotta go back and do some research.
Yeah, it'll be good to know.
I'm not sure. I want to say he had a couple more, but I'm not sure. It was certainly one of his best last goals.
Yeah,
for Leon, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you just have the level of dominance that Leon has had over Necaxa in general, except for that one time we lost 4-0 to them at home in Clausura 18. Chavo Diaz's last full season.
That explains it.
Aside from that, like the dominance over Necaxa, both home and away, but especially away, strangely, has been inverosímil, really. Like it has been incredible. Like that game I was talking about, Apertura 2019, where we went in and won 4-2. Like most of the times we've gone there, not only have we won, but Necaxa hasn't even scored. They haven't even been able to manage to score a goal. Like most of them have been shutout wins in Estadio Victoria. That was the only time that they managed to score against us was that one game, and we still beat them 4-2. The other times it was something about going in that stadium is just very comfortable for Leon. But I mean, take that with a grain of salt, because just because you're on a winning streak doesn't mean you're more likely to win the next game. I do expect Leon to build off of the momentum they generated, hopefully against Atlas, and go in and play well in a place where they seemingly always play well. But there are no guarantees whatsoever. Necaxa's not having a great season. I mean, they haven't really had a great season since the early 90s. But it's been a while. I mean, well, they never keep their good players long enough to develop any sort of project. I mean, they're a selling club. They're a buying and selling club. They're not really a competing club, and that's unfortunate for their fans. There are some loyal Necaxa fans out there. I know of some people who, when the team moved to Aguascalientes in 2003, that they moved to Aguascalientes with them. I know that there are people like that who exist out there in the world. So it's a shame for that fan base, but I mean, I expect us to go in there and get a good result. I really do. But there are no guarantees. No guarantees.
No guarantees.
So,
we got to go in there and handle business, right? Because we win this game, we're mid-table, and we got 5 games to go. Anything can happen.
I mean, think about this: win this game, win against Juarez, get these 6 points. We're probably in 7th or 8th place,
Right
and
there.
still with some very gettable points left on the table.
Yeah.
County Necaxa has 4 wins. The last win was Jornada 7 against San Luis. After that, they lost against Monterrey, tied against Puebla, lost the big 4-0 over Chivas, and then they just drew 0-0 to Tigres. So,
yeah, that 0-0 at Tigres is that's the kind of result I'm hoping we can get against Tigres in a couple in another week. You know, if we can go in there and get a 0-0, I would be tickled pink.
Yeah. It'd be a nice little like comeback, or like sort of maybe revenge. No, like feel like a little bit of a revenge, not against Tigres, but against that city, because we went in there against Monterrey and we lost 5-1. So it's like going back. Wait, is it at home against Tigres? No, we're going.
No. It is in Monterrey against Tigres.
Okay, yeah. So going back to that city, I'm sure the guys are going to remember leaving with the 5-1 deficit. So it'll be a nice little chip on their shoulder.
Well, also we have way more history and bad blood with Tigres than we do with Monterrey. Like, so they're gonna have a little bit something extra for that game. I know they will. But that's what I was gonna say at the start of the show, Carlos. I'm not gonna use that Tigres game as a measuring stick. If we win against Necaxa and Juarez, if we get these 6 points against Necaxa and Juarez, and we go in the Tigres and lose, like, I'm not gonna read into that too much because that's the one hard like game we have left in the season. I would say because we got what we have. How many games do we have remaining? 6.
We have 6.
6.
Mm-hmm.
And of those, the only one that I think that I'm not going to really call a winnable game is that Tigres game. The other ones, I think we should be going in looking to win, and thinking that any other result will be a disappointment. And I'm taking into consideration this game against Necaxa, then against Juarez, against Xolos, against Cruz Azul, and against Querétaro.
Yeah.
And then is there one I'm forgetting?
After Cruz Azul, there's Querétaro, and then Xolos is the last one.
Yeah, no. So yeah, every single one of those games, except for Tigres, should be considered completely winnable. And if you think about all the points those are, if we get all those points, we're going to be. I think we're probably not. We're not in the running for top 4 anymore. But I mean, a home repechaje game is still on the table, I would say.
Yeah.
With those opponents that we have.
I mean, Necaxa so tomorrow's game Friday, then we play on Tuesday. We had a match back at home. There's 3 days in between, and then 3 days after we play against Tigres. So
that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be really tough. But
especially with the Byron, if Byron gets another yellow, we'll have that. If anybody else gets any type of red card the next 3 games, 2 games.
Let's hope nothing strange happens.
I mean, anything can happen, but Tigres also, they've looked decidedly more vulnerable as of late. Like that 0-0 against Necaxa, they're not going to be happy with that.
True.
Absolutely not.
Fun.
And they're always under a lot of pressure. Like even I feel is completely, cheap and silly, but Gignac coming out and saying, "Please don't boo us," and all this kind of stuff. Like, give me a break, bro. What the fans are going to do what the fans want to do.
That's true. I mean, it's like Paiva telling him, like, don't tell me what to do. We're like, well, you can't shut everybody up in the stadium. Like, it is what it is. Just focus on yourself.
Well, no, Paiva, bro, buddy, you don't want us questioning your tactics. Start piling up the results. That is the only way you're going to shut anybody up. Until you start hilando resultados, you're gonna be cuestionado. Like, that's just kind of the way this goes.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I mean, he has to understand this is Mexican League. This is a bit different, especially with media and fans' expectations and of results. It's not like where he was before.
But unlike Ariel Holland, the kind of personality that Paiva has, I could see him adapting to the Mexican League and getting better, and having a much more. I mean, I think there's still a chance for him to save this season. I'm not going to call this a lost season yet. I mean, there's a lot of points still on the table and a lot of winnable games. But I could see him coming out next season and just being just seeming a lot more, having his team seem a lot more like a title contending team than it has been to this point this season. I can see him adapting and learning. He seems like that kind of guy. He doesn't seem. I mean, he seems kind of stubborn in some ways, like with his line of choices, but not stubborn and just like, I don't care how things work here. I'm going to keep doing things my way, and just it's going to work. COC, like kind of like Ariel Holland is. I don't see Paiva being that way, so I think there's hope for him to adapt and learn in this league, for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so looking at what tomorrow's possible lineup, obviously we had mentioned prior, Celestine will be back. Paul Vedon will not be available due to his 5 yellow accumulation of yellow cards. Is Barreiro starting or is Celestine starting? What's the defense?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Barre. That's what I
think
think.
so. I guess he started though.
I don't know. That's just what I think. I mean, if you're gonna put Ambris there, I think Ambris is a lot more familiar playing with Barre than he is with Celestine.
You might be right, Carlos, but I hope it's Celestine.
Did you
I
say
hope it's
why
Celestine.
you think Celestine was not? Was that you, Carlos? That you or who had said that Celestine would not be playing tomorrow?
Yeah, I said that at the beginning. Well,
Oh, okay.
that's what I was thinking is that he's not going to be starting. I thought Barreiro's starting, so and that's why because I think Barreiro's the veteran. He's the one that knows how to play better with Fidel Ambris, which I think
Mhm.
Fidel Ambris is going to play there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the only reason I said it.
Okay. What else was I gonna say? Is Elias starting again? Or are we thinking a different possible? Is George
Elias,
Gamble starting? Is he ready to play from the
I can
start?
see Elias starting. Well, okay. So another thing Paiva said. A lot of people were questioning why Elias started and why Campbell didn't start. He
Mhm.
said Elias, they had 3 practices in a week. Elias practiced all 3. Campbell was separated from the team, and he only
Mhm.
practiced 1 full session. So he's like, I can't put somebody in who only had 1 full practice session. So that's why he put Elias in and not Campbell. And a lot of people are like telling me like, why would you start Elias? What's the deal? That's his reasoning behind it, and it makes sense. Like you want a player that was practicing, that's ready to go, physically fit. Campbell's on one leg, only had 1
Mhm.
full practice session out of 3, and you're going to start him? I don't know. That's a little risky.
Yeah, it comes down to the old adage of the best ability being availability kind of thing.
There you
And
go.
Yeah.
Campbell was not fully available. I mean, I guess we'll see tomorrow if he's in the starting 11. That means he probably had a full week of training
There you go.
uninhibited.
I hope
We'll
so.
see. Yeah, I hope so too. I think the
Yeah.
team is better when he's on the pitch. But also, I mean, he wasn't a major factor against Atlas, and the team did okay without him. So we'll see.
Well, he was credited with the assist to Yaido because he did give him a really nice pass. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's a nice
Yeah,
pass to Yaido. Set him up for that goal.
Yeah.
So he was credited with that.
yeah. That was just a major individual effort, though.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
But still, I think his vision is like unmatched. Other than him, and I mean, it's like him and Chapito, like to really filter those passes and put them at the players, either lead
Feet.
the player or put him at
Mhm.
the player's feet. Is like he's one of the best ones that we have
I
on
mean,
the
it was
team.
good to see Elias and Chapito back at the same time on the field, especially during first half. That was
Yeah,
nice.
I bet they came out
Um,
winded too, right?
Probably. Report saying the CEO is getting a little bit closer. Possibly next week. The only thing of next week is obviously Tuesday game and Saturday game. I don't know. I don't think he might be ready for Tuesday game, but if we have him for that Tigres game, I think that would be really, really beneficial to us.
Yeah.
If he does come back next week.
Well, hopefully you can get. I mean, I don't want to throw him in cold against Tigres. If he can get some minutes in against Juarez, hopefully that game is going in our favor from an early onset, and they can give him some minutes there at the end, and he can get his feet under him, and then maybe even start against Tigres. That would be a huge boon. That would be a big development for us.
Yeah, I think it's eventually just going to boil down to whether or not he's physically fit to go. Because if he's not physically fit, you shouldn't risk him.
Yeah. Which I mean, we understand. Especially, I'm just saying, especially that Tigres game. Like, if he was fully fit, I mean, that would be great. I would feel really good about that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at obviously our next games. I mean, if we win at least 4, we still would be in good position. It's just that Tigres game, and obviously it's away at Cruz Azul, and I don't know, that could be a coin toss.
Yeah, it's a crazy midweek game also, and it's like it's a jornada adelantada also. So strange things can happen, but I don't know. I like our chances in that one.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it from Cruz Azul this season. Yes, they beat Querétaro, but that's not a big that's
Yeah.
not a big feather in their cap, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not being so like, oh my god, we're gonna be aggressive. Like, no, like I don't know. If we come out there with the draw, if we come out from Tigres and Grasu with the draw, I'm totally okay. Like, I'm totally okay. I just don't want to lose those games. But that'd be laughing if we draw those games and then lose against like Querétaro. That'd be funny.
It
But
would not be unprecedented.
it would not be.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead and do prediction time. I feel like time has flown by this time around. I don't know why. But let's go ahead and go into prediction time.
Prediction time!
Shout out to Javi, who could not make the podcast, but he did send us his prediction for tomorrow's game. He says Leon is going to win 3-1. Also, he's saying it's going to be lots of goals, especially for Leon, but that we're going to concede 1. So Javi says 3-1. Louis, are you making the trip?
I am, yeah. Luckily, I was free and continue to be free from any sort of work obligations this week. And so, despite the fact that it is on a Friday night and those are often complicated for me, I will be there without any issue. And yeah, I'll be heading out tomorrow morning, spend a nice day in Aguascalientes, and then head over to the match, stay over. Should be a nice, quick little trip. And yeah, I'm expecting Leon to get their 7th straight league win, 8th straight win overall at Estadio Victoria, dating back to 2016. It's amazing to think how there's no, I don't know if there's been any one team as dominant in that same stretch of time in another specific team stadium over that same stretch. That's, I mean, the level of dominance that we have had in Estadio Victoria over the last 6 years in a fairly large number of visits is quite sensational, and I do expect it to continue. And you know what? I'm going to go with the same marcador that they had the last time I was there, and the same marcador they had last week, and the same marcador that the Femenil had, 4-2. A 4-2 win. I'm going to go with 4-2.
I don't think you have ever predicted a 4-2 on the show.
I know I haven't, but I am going to go with a 4-2, another 4-2, our second straight 4-2 this time. I think we're going to score some goals. I just, we'll probably give up another PK, and they'll get another cheap goal some way, but the game will be out of hand by then. We're going to get our scoring panache, our scoring punch fully activated. I expect Diorio to get on the score sheet again. It's funny, he went however many games without scoring, and then that one that he got against Atlas put him back in the top 3 or 4 in the tabla de goleo. I mean, it's just been. I mean, I don't know if it's just something like there hasn't been as many goals scored this season in the league, or if the goal distribution has just been a lot more even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I expect Diorio to get back on the score sheet and push himself farther up the tabla de goleo. And I don't know if Elias plays. Maybe Elias gets his first one of the season. That would be kind of cool.
That would be nice. 4-2.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna go with a 4-2. I think the La Ley del Ex again. I think Davila will score, whether he starts or comes off the bench. Davila seems to like to score against Necaxa. He had a hat trick against them the last match day of the Apertura 21, the final, the season with the final, and then he scored the PK to give us the win against them last season at that stadium. So he always likes to score against Necaxa.
Okay. Louis says 4-2. Lots of goals. Fiesta de goles. Carlos, your prediction.
I'll be a little more humble with my prediction. Of course, I'd like a 4-2. I'd like a 4-1. I'd like a 4-0. But I'm going to go 2-1, Leon. I'm going to go 2-1. I think this last win against Atlas really revived our spirits. I think whatever was happening in the locker room is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, whatever happened, whatever was broken, it's now gone. And you can tell because Fede starting,
Mm-hmm.
He has no issues with Baiba. Nobody has any issues with anyone, it doesn't seem. Montes doesn't have an issue coming off. He's not mad. He's actually, according to Romo, he was standing next to Paiva and they were both kind of like talking about tactics. So, you know, maybe in the future we might see that combination. And another thing, the thing that really gave it away was the celebrations. Every goal, the entire team just coming together, the hugs after that cold video came out in Torreon. But yeah, I think whatever was broken is gone now, and I think we're just slowly gonna rebuild into what we saw against Toluca and America. We're gonna have a strong ending of the season, but I don't think it's gonna be that easy tomorrow. I'm gonna go with a 2-1.
2-1. Okay, still predicting a win, just not as ambitious of goals as Louis, but anything can happen. It's the Liga MX. I'm going with the 2-0. If Louis gets it right, I mean, I'll buy him a beer next time. But, you know, I mean, it'll be interesting. If that happens, I'm like, oh my God, like back-to-back 4-2s. I mean, that'd be awesome.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Kari, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to insist on a paloma from the club level there at the TSM.
Yeah. Okay. If I get it right, you buy me one.
Okay.
Okay.
Deal.
I'm saying a 2-0. I agree with Carlos. I mean, they're at home. Obviously, they're wanting to win. They haven't won in a while. Obviously, like we had mentioned, no va bien en Aguascalientes. I think todo con calma, especially after crazy Atlas. But I'm saying we still win 2-0. So yeah, my prediction 2-0. Javi 3-1, Louis 4-2, Carlos 2-1, and me 2-0. So there are our predictions. And then I think the game just ended in 0-0. I think San Luis went another man down. I think that's dos expulsiones, which I'm not surprised. But currently, Querétaro Puebla are 0-0. Game just started. Tomorrow, besides our match, will be Juarez and Cruz Azul. Saturday, Pachuca Santos, Monterrey Mazatlan, Atlas Pumas. That will be an interesting game to watch. Atlas Pumas. America Tigres, and then Sunday there's only one game, which is Toluca Chivas. So I think, yeah, pretty good games to watch. So
good jornada. I don't really care about any other games. I just want to win. I just want
to have to win tomorrow. Yeah. After that,
well,
I mean, you guys.
That's Liga MX, man. If you win your game, no matter what else happens, you're gonna see your team move up a couple spots.
And it's Viernes Botanero.
Viernes.
Yeah.
Botanero. Have beer ready, so I'll be drinking. So next game will be on a Tuesday. We're still trying to decide, I guess, when we'll probably Wednesday after.
Wait, we play Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So.
Hey, I can do Monday. You know. Just
Monday.
saying.
I think Carlos can't do Monday. That way, if we
Monday's,
do Tuesday,
Monday's Labor Day here. It's a holiday.
Well, it's up to you because we could do Wednesday, and then that way we still do the preview with the
yeah.
Talk about Tigres.
I think Wednesday probably works better.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you guys like.
Still appreciate. Yeah, you can still go to your game.
For sure.
So we'll do that. But yeah, guys, that is all from us. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to follow Club Leon EN in case you cannot watch the game. You're stuck at work. You're stuck in traffic. You want to keep up with the live updates of the game. Go ahead and follow Club Leon EN. Don't forget to follow Louis as he will be in attendance. So you can see his preview video tomorrow, and we'll definitely see you guys next week, which will break down these next two upcoming games and also preview versus Tigres. Will be very, very interesting. Hopefully things go our way. But yeah, guys, and I think that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and take off. Y arriba la fiera.